To get us started, you are all here to learn more about the Oakland Cannabis Paid Internship Program. This initiative is an exciting initiative that's funded by the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development and the City of Oakland. This is an initiative that is one of its kind. It started just a few months ago. This is our third cohort that we will be running. So far, we've had 2 successful cohorts of 30 students each go through the internship experience and be able to land paid internships at local cannabis companies. So I want to just recognize you all for being here and taking the first step tonight. This is a unique opportunity. We do want to work with you. We do want to see you in the academic training. We want to see you get an internship. We're going to tell you how to do that. And hopefully, if you follow the path, we will see you soon at our orientation and then later on in the internship. What we'll be reviewing tonight is here on the screen. I will be spending a little bit of time introducing the team, as well as spending a little bit more time talking about overall program expectations and expectations in both the academic training and on-the-job training. Those are 2 areas that we care a lot about. We want to make sure you have a great experience, but we also want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this opportunity. All right. Are there any questions before we get started? I want to make sure that you all are here for the reasons that are on the screen. Any questions from anyone? All right, so here we go. So first, a quick introduction. As mentioned, my name is Xavier. For those of you who are just joining, managing partner of a company called C4C. My business partner is Audrey Liebador. We started this company about 3 years ago to help normalize and professionalize the legal cannabis industry. What we do is we take best practices in project management and workforce development and apply it to emerging industries like the cannabis industry. We are both workforce development specialists. We're experts in that field. We do not claim to be experts in cannabis. However, we do work with several people who are experts in cannabis. And what we believe is if you take cannabis, treat it like any other industry, and really analyze some of the nuances and provide opportunities for folks, then you are winning the battle. And that's what we believe in. We have worked very closely with these folks that have been on the screen here. I already introduced Mari Morris, our project manager, Bernadette as well, our project management assistant. Other folks that may engage with you if you are admitted into the program is Shanara. She is our marketing manager. Oftentimes she will chronicle the lives of the interns. So she often does site visits or interviews folks. You might have seen some of her social media posts. So she may be someone who will be reaching out if you're a member of the cohort. Someone who will be really important to you is your academic training instructor. That's Matt Whitmire. He is a Merit instructor. He teaches horticulture, so the growing of cannabis at Merritt College. And he will be your instructor for 8 weeks in total. And we'll talk more about that experience in a little bit. 2 other important people, Lisa Gwynn. She's critical in ensuring that your experience is a positive one, that you're overcoming challenges that happen in life. And she will be one that you will check in with regularly to support your goals and your successes in the program. Alvaro is our mentor engagement specialist. You can think of companies when you think of mentors. So these are the people who you will intern for. He's the one that goes out and engages with those mentors, secures them, makes sure that there are internship placements across the city of Oakland. And he has done a great job in lining up quite a few different companies across Oakland for a variety of internship experiences. As mentioned, we do partner very closely with Merritt College as well as Oakland Private Industry Council, otherwise known as OPIC. Our 2 leads there are Myra Ramirez and Yawo Tekpa. You will likely, if you haven't already, be interviewed by them through the interview process. They're great partners in this initiative, and they've really helped us target specific groups that we want to make sure have the opportunity to enter and complete this program. Okay, so that's the team. That's the team as a whole. Kevin is also here with us. I don't know if Angelica, I didn't see her,
I'm
but
here.
you are here. Great.
Yeah.
Angelica and Kevin, both of you, thank you for joining. They're both from OPIC as well. You'll get to meet Kevin a little bit later in a workshop that we'll talk about in a few minutes. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you both for being here. So before we talk about the nuts and bolts of the program, I want to just share some important dates. So this opportunity, this experience is broken down into 3 cohorts. As mentioned, we've already completed the first cohort. We had 22 people successfully complete the entire paid internship program. We had roughly 28 people complete the academic training program, and they are off either working in the industry or pursuing other opportunities. So they receive that workplace experience. We are right in the middle of our second cohort. They recently, before Thanksgiving, completed the academic training experience, and now they're on the job doing their internship. What we are talking about today is our third cohort. Our application deadline, which is an important date if you haven't applied yet, is January 24th, 2025. And the first day of the academic training is in February 18th. Last day will be April 10th. And then you would start your internship experience on April 14th, ending it on June 22nd, with a celebration of all 3 cohorts on June 21st. So what is it that I'm talking about, and what is it? Why are you here tonight? It is all about this paid internship opportunity. I want you to focus on the right side of the screen. This opportunity is broken down into 2 parts. The first part is what we call the 8-week academic training. That's in partnership with Merritt College. This is a course on the books that's been approved by Merritt College. It is not for credit, but it is a course that has to go through all the same processes as all the other courses at Merritt. And what you will be learning in that course is what you see on the left side of your screen. So this is a very broad overview of the cannabis industry. This is not designed for you to take a deep dive. This is designed for you to have a survey of a course. Matt, your instructor, brings in a lot of guest speakers. He wants to give you different perspectives from the industry. He wants you to learn from different people, and he wants you to learn something new. So if you are a seasoned cannabis consumer or person who works in the industry, or if you are brand new to it, um, it doesn't really matter. You can learn something in this experience, and this opportunity is hopefully for you. Okay. The second part of this program is called the 10-week paid internship. And essentially what that is on-the-job training. Once you complete the academic training, we then place you with a specific company within the city limits of Oakland. They have to be a licensed cannabis operator. And the current rate that we are paying our interns is $21.28 per hour. This is designed to be a full-time experience. So what that means is 40 hours a week, and it's 10 weeks in total for a total of 400 hours. If you cannot fulfill the 400 hours, we ask you to be very honest and upfront about us. We can accommodate you within a certain limitation. So it's better for you to be honest and let us know what your challenges are before we place you so that we can place you with the right fit, as opposed to waiting until you're placed and not telling us, and then you not being able to take advantage of this great opportunity. Our hope ultimately is that you get a full-time job in the cannabis industry, but at the minimum, we want you to get a good experience so that you gain an internship experience so that you are more marketable to folks within the industry. Okay. Okay, so this is where it gets really important, and we will be reiterating this several times throughout your journey if you're part of this initiative. But this is a training program. This is a professional training program. The course that you take is not an academically rigorous course. It's about what you need to know as a general knowledge to be successful in the cannabis industry, but it is not designed like a typical college course. It's a course where lots of folks give you different perspectives, give you different knowledge. Really, where your opportunity comes into play is when you start your internship experience. That is when you have an opportunity to put your best foot forward, be able to bring your best self, and be able to really shine and show your mentor that you are ready to be able to take on a part-time or full-time job within the industry. So part of that journey is to always be professional, which means, of course, showing up on time, both to your class and to the internship experience, communicating when you have a life challenge. We've had everything from, people losing loved ones in the middle of the cohort to cars breaking down to, you know, um, all over the place. We've had so many different challenges with our interns, but the most important thing and the key to the success for the ones that are successful is that they communicate those challenges specifically to Lisa, who's your student support specialist, and they're able to create a plan together to overcome those challenges. So we just ask you at the end of the day that you really over communicate when something comes up. You let us know so that we can help create a plan for you so that you can be successful. Taking a little bit of a step back here, Matt Whitmire is your academic training instructor. Talked a little bit about him. To give you a little bit about when that takes place, it takes place on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. So this would be when you're attending your class. It is all done via Google Classroom, and all of your sessions are live on Zoom. We'll talk about what the attendance policy looks like in a minute, but it is important that you have a free Gmail address so that you can access Matt's class, which is on Google Classroom. So those are some important nuances. Okay. For the academic training, the part where you're working with Matt, the instructor, and attending classes Tuesdays and Thursdays, here are a couple of things to really keep in mind. Laptops are the best way to access the materials, both the materials that he has in Google Classroom and actually Zoom itself. You can do it on a phone, but it makes it a lot more challenging. And more importantly, having stable internet is something that will ensure that you can be successful in the program. We have a great partnership with OPIC. If for some reason you do not have a laptop, I believe they still have laptops available. You just have to let us know during the interview and application process, and they will work with you to get a laptop so that you can participate in the class. We want to make sure from an equity standpoint that we remove that barrier so that you have an opportunity to participate. Okay. Also authorized to work in the United States. I'm sure you all know what that means. There is a process, an onboarding process, as well as a background check that's done through this through this experience. If you have some type of justice impacted history, it doesn't mean that you're disqualified from this program. So we ask that you are honest in the background check process, and it's something that once we do the background check, we do look at everyone individually and make a decision, and we've had several folks be able to participate with various histories. Active participation is something that's really important. So it is important that you are hopefully on camera. Your classroom experience will be different than this. You'll have a lot more engagement with your classmates and the guest speakers. So it's an engaging, collaborative environment. So we ask that you have active participation throughout. Zoom expectations, this is just, when you're not speaking, mute. You all are doing a great job modeling that tonight. And being on camera as much as possible, eliminating some of the background distractions that might happen if you are on camera, and treating it as almost like your camera like a mute button. So at times it might not be appropriate for you to be on camera. So turning off your camera, letting that situation pass, and then coming back on camera might be more appropriate than keeping your camera on. So just be aware of your surroundings while you're in the classroom environment. Okay, this is where I want to make sure that everyone understands where we're coming from. We are trying to train and prepare you for a job in the cannabis industry. With that being said, it's really important to show up and to show up on time and to show up consistently. So we do have an attendance policy and a makeup policy, and it is fairly strict. It is strict because if you think about it, this experience, you only have 16 class sessions in the experience. So if you miss more than 2 class sessions, you're missing quite a bit of your experience. So it is important that if you miss a class, um, that we allow for 1 absence where you do not have to do any makeup work. If you miss a second class, we do require a makeup assignment to be submitted. And then after the second absence, it's at the discretion of the instructor, but we have a policy that says once you hit that the second absence, then you may be asked to leave the program. And that's really because we want to be able to provide the mentors with folks that we know are persistent, consistent, professional, that show up on time. And if you can't create that relationship and history with us, it's hard for us to advocate for you to be placed within the industry if you can't meet that minimum requirement. So that is just something that is really important for you all to know as you embark on this journey. 2 in-person activities. We have 2 in-person activities that are required in this experience, and it's important to note it right away. The first one will take place on February 25th. This is one that you will attend at Oakland Private Industry Council. It'll be a workshop where you're doing what's called employment readiness workshop, where you're learning employability skills. It's actually led by Kevin, who's here with us tonight. And it's a great opportunity for you to know how to behave, what employers look for, what are the best practices. And he walks you through a 2-hour workshop where you're equipped with a lot of tools walking out so that you can present your best self once you get that internship experience. The second opportunity is when you actually get a chance to meet your mentor. And that is on March 27th, about halfway through the opportunity, through the academic training. It is in person as well. Location to be determined. It might be at OPIC or it might be nearby. And it is from 6 to 8 p.m. So these replace your Zoom classes for those 2 nights. So it is important that you put them on your calendar now. They are mandatory. We expect you to show up. If for some reason you cannot show up, you have to let us know early once you're admitted into the program so that we can work through those issues. But the expectation is that you're there because they give you the best advantage to have a good experience in the internship opportunity. Okay, a couple of other things that I promised we're on the home stretch. Bring your best self every day. Talked a little bit about that. Reliable transportation. I just want to touch on this a little bit. When we talk about reliable transportation, we don't mean everyone needs a car. We just mean you just have to plan ahead and get to your place of employment on time and consistently. So if that means riding a bike, taking a bus, walking, getting a ride, driving yourself, whatever it means to get to work on time, that's what we mean, reliable transportation. Lastly, schedule one-to-one check-ins with a student support specialist. That's Lisa Gwynn. Those are mandatory. That is to make sure that you have the support that you need, that you can overcome challenges, because we know everyone comes in with some sort of challenge. You know, I have a challenge today. I'm feeling under the weather. That could be a challenge that if I'm not feeling better tomorrow, I might not be able to show up to work. So how do I communicate that? How do I ensure that I'm setting myself up for success? Lisa is one that will help you with that. So meeting with her is mandatory in this program, and you should really see it as a benefit and an opportunity for to set yourself up for success. Quickly on the timeline, this is what the timeline looks like for the opportunity. We talked about the important dates before. This just puts it in a different visual. And I want to briefly talk about how to apply. So you apply online. Our website is c4c.com/internship. Many of you have already applied based on who has attended. You are required to attend an information meeting or watch the recording. You all are here, so you've met that requirement. You then submit your application online. If you're eligible, we'll talk a little bit about eligibility. Bernadette actually dropped it in the chat box, and I'll share a little bit about that before we wrap up. Once we receive your application, you'll be notified by C4C or by OPIC on if you're qualified for an interview. Once you've interviewed and you pass a background check, then you would be admitted into the program. You'll receive notification, and then you would attend your training orientation and then your first day of academic training. That's kind of the process that you'll see. And what I want to do is just quickly show you what the eligibility looks like, because this is not for everyone. So this is one of the most important things. So let me just get this up on my screen, and then I promise I will open it up for questions. So eligibility is based on mostly where you live in Oakland. So to be eligible for this initiative, you do have to be a resident of Oakland. You have to be at least 21 years or older. That is a state requirement because you're dealing with cannabis. And you have to have been a resident for the last 2 years. Above and beyond that, there are 2 ways to qualify. So those are the 2 minimum requirements. In addition to being a resident, you must have lived in one of these police beats listed on the screen. And the way that you confirm that is there's a police beat map that you click on right here. Once you click on that map, you just type your address into this area here, and it will tell you a police beat. Let's say it will say 7X is your police beat. You then look at this list of eligibility police beats. As long as your police beat is listed here, you're good to go, you're eligible. And as long as you can prove you've lived there for 2 years, you're good to go. If your police beat is not listed on this screen, then the only other way that you can be eligible is if you have specifically a cannabis related conviction that took place after November 5th, 1996, and you meet these 2 requirements up here. Okay. So once again, this is an equity initiative. We are excited to offer this opportunity. Many of you may have received a postcard in the mail or have seen our social media. It is important that you meet these minimum requirements to be eligible. And we confirm that through the process. So if you're not eligible, it's not like you can sneak through. We will confirm your documentation and we'll let you know if you're not eligible. So it is important that you go through that process before you get started. And there's a video that explains it here as well. Okay. Just so that you all know, this is a partnership between City of Oakland, Merritt College, Oakland Private Industry Council, and a company called Slingshot. Once you all are admitted into this experience, we'll talk a little bit more about the role of Slingshot, but these are your main contacts throughout the way. If you need any assistance, info@c4c.com gets you directly to Bernadette. I believe this should say info@c4c.work. So if you can drop that in the chat box, if that's a typo there. Our website is caseforcannabis.com. Okay, so I will stop sharing screen. That is the experience that we hope we see you all in the near future. I am now available to answer any questions that you may have. Bernadette and Mari, if there are questions in the chat box that are not answered, please let me know, but feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question for you all who are out there. And yes, Angelica, if there's something you'd like to mention, please
Yes.
go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angelica Garcia. I'm one of the interviewers here at Oakland Peak. So I just want to remind you guys to check your spam folder because a lot of people are calling saying that they didn't receive any email. So yes, we actually we're sending the emails, but make sure you check your spam folders.
Yes, thank you so much. That's a great reminder. So 2 ways that we communicate with you. The primary way is your email. Definitely check your spam folder. And then if we can't get a hold of you after a couple of times, I do know that OPIC tries to send you a text message. So make sure that your phone number is accurate as well so that we can get a hold of you. Thank you for that reminder, Angelica.
Yeah, just in case if you don't hear from us, call us.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
email us, please.
Absolutely. And so I want to make sure you all know you do not have to have experience in the cannabis industry. This is an internship. The whole purpose of an internship is to get you experience. If you have experience, great. But the relationship that we've had with OPIC, the last two cohorts we've had some really great success stories where people have been able to secure full-time jobs and have been praised by their employers or mentors. So, it is what you put into it is what you get out of it.